Hi there, Lloyd from Machedo.com. Who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Today the date is, what's the date? 8th September 2017. Time right now is 5:19 in the evening. All right, I got this call from one of my readers, and he became my client. He paid me for the evaluation from my website. The link is given below. And he said he's not getting a job. So I said, okay, fine, let me do an evaluation for you. So first is I evaluated his resume. Evaluated his resume, surprisingly, was perfect. Then I asked him for an interview process, like I'll take his interview and I'll evaluate him. That was where the problem is. See, now, if you are not unable to get a job, let's say, for instance, you are, your CV is good, you get called for interviews, but you're not able to get through. So the problem is the interview. Now, these are the top 10 problems I feel people have when going for interviews. So you can take down and write down, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. However, don't ask me to help you for free, because that's not what I do, okay? Unless, of course, you can ask me a general question, I'll send to YouTube. Okay, 10 questions, 10 points, sorry. So what are the 10 reasons why you might not be getting a job, especially the interview, okay? Problems with the interview. The first one is ignorance. Now, generally, when I speak to people and ask them about interview, they say, oh, Lloyd, I'm very confident. I'm very confident in terms of giving the interview. How do you know this? Just because you have many years experience as an engineer, or you have many years experience as a graphic designer or a salesman, does that mean you will ace the interview? No, you're mistaken. Talking is not speaking, is not communicating. This is the thing that people need to understand. Just because you're good at your job doesn't mean you're good at an interview. An interview is an art, a skill that takes time to learn. So the first one is ignorance. So, and I prove people wrong when I take an interview and I evaluate them, and I literally show them what they are missing, and they're like, oh my God, I never realized I was that horrible. So first one is ignorance. The second one is arrogance. You think you are so good at your job that the world will come knocking at your door. Well, wake up, because there is so, there is so much of competition out there. There's so many smart people out there. That is why the fact is, your boss, who is not as smart as you, he may be not as good at the job as you're doing, but he's still your boss because he's good at, selling himself. So the second one is your arrogance. Your arrogance to think that you're so good at your job that you'll get ace the interview. No, you cannot succeed if you're arrogant. And I'm not saying go be humble, but you need to be humble enough to learn and sharpen those skills. So first one, ignorance. Second one, arrogance. Third one is quality versus quantity. Now, I know this is overused cliche, but here's the thing that I want you to keep in mind. The answer that you have given with 500 words, when I write down word for word what the person has said, sometimes a guy gives almost 500 words, and then when I analyze what he has said, I ask him, like, what the hell did you just say? And he himself is like, I'm not sure. Oh, I was trying to say this. So if you're trying to say this, why don't you just say it? Why do you give so many things? Most of the people use like 500 words when they could have said the same thing with maybe just 20 or 30 words. So remember, quality matters, because as a person listens to you more and more, his brain gets numb. He just can't pay attention. So always focus on quality, saying only what is required. Don't be too verbose, and don't give so much content that a person gets a headache. The next one is being specific, which is connected to part 3. Part 4, point number 4 is specific. You need to speak to the point. To the point. And to the point takes practice. You can't, and please stop just because I said to the point. Oh, sir, I'm hardworking, focused, determined. No, it doesn't work that way. That's a totally separate story. You need to know the art of storytelling. But what I mean by specific is, you need to bring out points that the person can actually focus his attention on and know specifically what you're talking, where he can measure it, where he can verify it, and where he can be, actually convinced that these are facts, not just, vague statements like hard work and all that nonsense. Point number 5 is training. See, any skill that you have takes time to sharpen. You cannot become a karate expert just by looking at the YouTube and practicing by yourself. You need to have a master, a sensei who teaches you karate. Same way, you want to ace the interview, you need to practice under someone. Now, obviously, you might say, oh, I get unemployed once in my lifetime. That once in a lifetime can change your entire life. If you know how to negotiate a salary and get more, you know, even having a 20% increase, calculate that. That's net profit. So that's a big chunk. So you're not being trained. You just don't know how to do it. Point number 6 is selling. Do you know how to sell yourself? Do you really know how to sell yourself? You want to know if you can sell yourself or not? Go and ask 10 people that you know to give you, let's say, $1,000. 10 people. If you can do that, and people give you and not ask it back, man, you are really something, you know. So you might think you're good at selling yourself, but you're not, because if you were, you'd be having the job right now. Point number 7, likability. You're not likable, they'll not give you the job. The interviewer, if he finds you a piss pot, or he finds you irritating, or he finds you, you know, someone he can't tolerate, he's not going to forward your name to the next level. So you need to be likable, and that is also a strategy. You see, I was never born likable. I was very irritating, but I made people like me, and that is how I've succeeded to where I am today. Likability is a strategy also. The next one is authentic. Now, when I said likability, I'm pretty sure most of you will smile, you will say, hi sir, how are you? It doesn't work that way. You need to be authentic. For me, in my case, I'm an asshole. I like to be rude. I like to be blunt, okay? But people still like me because I'm authentic. I'm real. I don't fake it. So you need to be authentic. But, you know, if suppose you're lazy, let's assume you're lazy. Obviously, you can't tell them, hey, I'm lazy. Or if in case you keep ogling at women and you look at women, this way, you can't tell them, I love looking at women's body parts. No. The thing is, when you're talking of authentic, you need to know how to say, what to say, and where to say it. And if you have to put it across, put it in such a way that the guy, you know, feels that you're being very, very genuine. Like, for example, let's say you have had a bad sales record for the last 2 months. There's a skill in how to say it. Let's put it this way, that you are a failure in your previous job. There's a way how to say it. So there you need to be authentic because, you know, the people you're speaking to are smarter than you. Point number 9 is being you-focused. So many times people go for an interview focusing only on me, you know, I want this, I did this. The interviewer doesn't care. The interviewer wants to know what's the benefit for me. That's why when you go and purchase something, you don't go and see what is the benefit to the store. You go and see what is the benefit to yourself. My wife is frying, cooking. Okay. Point number 10, last but not the least. Man, this frying noise is crazy. Okay, point number 10, last but not the least, is in terms of brand. You need to be a brand. If you cannot be a brand, you cannot stand out. Like, look at me, my face, my tattoos, my mannerism, my speaking, my knowledge, the stuff that I post, it's all unique. If you cannot be a brand, if you cannot differentiate yourself from the market, if you cannot stand out, then you will not succeed. So you need to be a brand. So if I were to go through the 10 points, number 1, the reason you're not getting a job is ignorance. Number 2, arrogance. Number 3, quality versus quantity. Number 4, specific. Number 5, training. You need training skills. Number 6, learning how to sell yourself. Number 7, being likable. Number 8, being authentic. Number 9, being a you-focused person, which doesn't help you get a job. And number 10, not knowing how to position yourself as a brand. So these are the 10 reasons why you'll not be getting a job, or you are not getting a job, especially after having an impressive resume. So these are the points. Let me know what you think. Have any questions? Love to hear from you. Good, bad, ugly. Please stay in touch and subscribe and do share it with others. Lloyd from Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding, saying goodbye for now.